All right. We are here once again, Mr. Poseidon, on YouTube every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the live stream, I should say. We're going to have a good one up for you. I'm going to start this right away. Let me get my glasses on. That's the reading glasses. Today's guest guys, we're going to have, and ladies, we're going to have DJ Muller, surfcaster. I'll give you a little bio on him. DJ Muller is an expert surfcaster, longtime surf guide, and noted author of 5 books on surfcasting for striped bass. He has fished anywhere bass can be caught, from Maine to OBX. Born and raised on the Jersey Shore, he now resides on the west coast of Florida, where he fishes until his heart is content, targeting snook, redfish, trout, tarpon, and about 8 other species of fish year-round. DJ's books include, honey?
DJ's books include.
And that's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. P, how you doing, honey?
Hello.
Awesome. Go ahead, sweetheart.
DJ's books include The Surfcaster's Guide to the Striper Coast, Striper Strategies, Striper Tales, Fishing the Cape Cod Canal, and Surfcasting Block Island and Cutty Hunk. DJ has written hundreds of articles for various magazines, most for the Fisherman magazine, and multiple others including On the Water, Surfcaster's Journal, Saltwater Journal, and Field and Stream.
Right on. DJ has founded and created the 8-hour classroom production that has teaches everything stripers. It's called the Bass Class, teaching surfcasters all along the coast about the intricacies of striped bass fishing. The class covers the history, The class covers the history of surfcasting, striper science, plug selection, and proper usage, reading water, and technical and tactical approach of the hunting stripers. You want to read the last one, hon?
Sure, and DJ founded and ran the Jersey Shore Surfcasters, the club responsible for the renowned and loved Surf Day in New Jersey, the largest surf-only fishing show on the East Coast. It happens in February with seminars and vendors all day long.
And I got a booth. I'll be there. You want to get into that show, you got to see Tim. That's Tim Murphy.
Tim Murphy?
Yeah, and also you can also see Dominic for that. He's the president there.
Dominic
I do have a
Tansey.
booth. It really is a great show, guys. If you're not going to get a booth, please come down and check it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with this show. They run an excellent venue, and you will get your money's worth there. Let's go. All right, so you guys know who we got on today, DJ Muller. I'll have him on in a few minutes. Just going to say hello to a few of the people on here or here weekly. Luke Fishing, Mike Kish, Tom Hood, D-Bar, what's up, buddy? Brain, Hamlet Woodcraft, that's the Montauk Surf Association, next president coming up soon. Wormway, Edwin, Eddie Bucktails, how you doing, buddy? At Point, Miguel, some of the best bags in the business. If you don't know, check them out. Superb stuff. You can talk to them. You can get what you want done. Way to go, Miguel, with that product. Professor, how you doing? Night Shift Fishing, Matt. What's going on? Antagonizer Laws, Tony, Delco Joe. There he is. Might be a new year, but Miguel still has hoodies for sale. No doubt about it. They're nice. I saw them. I got to get one. John McDowell, happy birthday or happy new year, buddy, to you too. Dom AZ, there he is. How you doing, buddy? I don't know. Are you guys going to be showing up? You guys going to be at the Narragansett show next week? If you are, let me know. I will hold on to that prize because we're supposed to mail everything out this week. But if you're going to be there, I'll bring it with me and I'll deliver it to you by hand, my brother. Who else do we got out there that I miss? Will Walker, 401. How you doing, Will? Will, some of the most beautiful plugs out there. 401, check them out. Yeah, buddy, that beach bomber. Let's go. Here we go. Willie J, how you doing? Who else do we got out there that I missed? Anybody I missed?
Jermaine.
And Jermaine, how you doing? Ocean State Bass Fishing. You too, buddy. Everything will be going out this week. Chris Gannon, my buddy. How you doing? Thanks for coming. and always supporting us. Joe Albanese, there he is. Joe Albanese hooked me up with this week's guest, DJ Muller. Thanks for that, Joe. Much appreciated. Bloodline Fishing Adventures. What's going on? Chuck Dumas. How you doing, buddy? Long time. Glad you're here, pal. Who else do we got out there? I think that's it. I think we could start this show.
Oh, no, John Francisconi.
John Francisconi. There he is.
We don't want to miss John Francisconi.
That's right. King of the Hudson. Don't miss that, buddy.
BX Surfcaster, the modifier.
That's right. BX Surfcaster. Today we actually went to, you guys know that, let me lower this a second. You guys know that Oscar Valdez passed away last week. So today was his wake. We actually had to go down today to the city. We went, we met the family. Keep an eye out for me, guys. We're going to be doing a, what's it called again?
The GoFundMe?
Yeah, GoFundMe for his family.
Yeah.
I want to take care of Oscar just like he supported me throughout the years here. Thank you, Oscar. And rest in peace, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's get on with our first guest and our only guest today, DJ Muller.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome DJ Muller. Woo! All right, DJ, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic, brother. Fantastic.
You're doing okay?
Yeah. Really, really good. Whenever the show's on, I get a little extra hyper. I love fishing. I love having this live stream for everybody to get together. Got a nice crew out there. They're here weekly, support us, and they love coming to watch the pros. DJ Muller, you're the pro tonight.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
let me start off. We already gave your bio. That's a heck of a bio, too. But, DJ, how did this all get started for you? Before, I have a bunch of questions here that I wrote down that I want to ask you. But one question that I didn't, how did this all get started for you, DJ? What got you into fishing?
Well, like many others, my father probably used to take us fishing at night down to docks and out on the jetty, North Jetty, Manasquan Inlet, and catching fluke. You know, we were real little kids, and we always loved it. You know, we were catching a lot of snappers at night off the docks under the lights, catching eels and occasional flounder. You know, fluke. That was always great. And then a very good friend of mine was a freshwater guy, and I started hanging out with him a little bit. Intrigued by it, started doing a lot of freshwater. We have a lot of freshwater rivers and creeks and stuff near us there in Manasquan. And then, of course, I stayed with the saltwater. And then went to college. Had bass was not on my mind. There was another very similar rhyming word that was more important at the time. I went to school in Rhode Island for a couple of years. I went to school in Rhode Island for a couple of years, and then I transferred to St. David's Eastern University, where I finished up, started working construction, and started fishing the surf.
Very nice.
In earnest. And
Very
I had a great
nice.
opportunity to fish the Outer Cape in the early 80s with my buddies from Barrington, and I turned it down. Little did I know, years later, that was a hotbed for big bass fishing at the time. And I should have gone, but I didn't. And, you know, you learn by your mistakes, I guess. I don't know. But I try to live without regrets. So
That's the way you got to do it, DJ. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody gets up. It's how you learn to be better. And when you can officially admit that, I should say, you're a good man, dude. No doubt about it. So I know you've written 5 books right now, all on surfcasting. And I wanted to ask you, the books that you wrote were Surfcaster's Guide to the Striped Bass Coast, was written in 2007, correct?
Yep, that was my first one.
Yep, that was the first one I got down here. Also, you have Surfcasting Block Island and Cuttyhunk. That was in 2019.
Yep.
I just want to say, Cuttyhunk, I had last year I missed a trip. I couldn't make it. Maybe I'll get down there this year, but I'm very excited to go fishing there. The guys who went last year, Ducko, Joe, a bunch of guys, Joe, Brian, they all headed down there. They had a nice time, good fish down there.
Oh yeah.
It says here.
That was 12 years later. So how has the fishing changed since then?
My fishing has
07.
changed a lot. From the first book to the last book, it's changed drastically. I used to be a wader guy, wader dry top guy, walk along, cast, look for structure, so on and so forth. And I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And then somewhere in there, I started wetsuiting, and that was a game changer. Not so much in Jersey, but it was everywhere else I fished, like obviously Montauk, Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, Cuddy Hunk, all those places, all great wetsuit spots. And it changed my game. It made me fish differently. It changed my my mindset. It changed my tactical approach to it. Where before I was walking along and casting and looking for a fish, I changed my whole progression to where I would look, hunt, scout, hunt, look constantly for a great spot where big fish had to pass, and then I would just concentrate on that spot. So I would find a good place, in Montauk or in Block that I absolutely loved. I said, if you like the spot, it's no good. You have to love the spot. You're like, yes, big fish will have to pass here.
So I just want to say, go ahead. I want to say one thing here. When you mentioned earlier that you went from a wader to a wetsuit and you would look for your spots, basically what you're saying is you're looking for a nice rock to get up on, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue, buddy.
Now, more specifically, I'm looking for a spot where big fish have to pass. Right? So instead of, there's some people who taught me or gave me a lot of great insights into this stuff. One was Alberto, Crazy Alberto, as most people know. I fished with him a lot early on, and was able to see how he looked at things. And then Mike Laptu, the videographer too, he also taught me a lot in conversation and by watching his videos, that how stripers moved, how they congregated, how they schooled up. And if you go to the shows this winter and you talk to Mike Laptu, pick his brain a little bit. He's a fascinating guy, fascinating. And so I took a little bit of everybody's, insights, and then I came up with my own insights. So I started going out, finding the spot where I won. That was my spot. I love the spot. I'm going to fish here. I go out, hit the rock, 5, 8, 9 hours a night until big fish passed. And I caught a lot of big fish that way. It really changed the way I fished. It upped my game. It was great. That was a major difference between my first book and my last book. And also as you become older and more experienced, you get more hours you put in the surf, you get more efficient and you get smarter. And you don't have the energy when you're young, so you fish smarter, more intelligently, and using your experience base. I fell back a lot into the science of it all, which is, I don't think we mentioned it, but I have book number 6 is written, called Advanced Surfcasting, which would be a very technical, high-level book that anybody could absorb. It's not just for advanced guys or nothing, but for guys who want to get to the advanced level. It's done. But my publisher, who was Peter Burford, retired about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and he said, I'm done. So I had the book 3/4 written and it's on my laptop, but I don't have a publisher. And I haven't really pursued one. I've been busy with my new job, and but I love it. I've learned a lot of stuff, even in the last couple of years, that's in the book that is incredible stuff. Like it would blow even your brilliant mind away. It would just boom, gone.
Yeah, so. I like the way you say that your books have changed from the first to the last. Obviously, I can see that happening. The time that you put in, you get better every year, and then you say, you know what? What I used to do and what I'm doing now is a little better. Got to write another book. So basically, it's not that the first book is no good. Every book is good. It's just that you're going to get a little bit more out of each book that you get from you, especially this last one that you're talking about. If you want to get to that next level and you want to get to the higher level.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? It's like my writing grew up with my books. So, and my first book, which was a bestseller, was loved by everybody because it was, it was easy reading. I forgot who said it. I think it might have been Zeno, but he said, when you read DJ's books, it's like he's sitting in the truck next to you. You guys are just talking. He goes, I love that.
Yeah.
He told me he read the book in one night, which made me mad because it took me a year to write it. But I gave him a couple FUs and stuff. And he said, no, man, it's a compliment, man. He goes, I couldn't put it down. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. It's much better.
Yeah, I got to go with you. Wombat, he's asking here, I would like to get smarter. Where can I buy smarter?
You can buy smarter. You can buy gas for your gas tank and drive and fish and work your ass off and learn. That's how you can buy it.
There you go.
But you also want to do it smarter too. Like when I was back in 07, there wasn't a lot of, the internet was just starting out. I should say the cell phones were starting out, so you can communicate quickly with other people.
Yeah.
Burning spots and so on and so forth. And then when Facebook kicked in, that totally destroyed the sport. I mean, you can get all the information you want instantaneously. And a lot of guys go on Facebook and they watch some videos and they go on YouTube and then they go out and they catch a big fish and then they think they're like, oh, I'm something special.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Not really.
I got, I got to fish with a few of the old timers. I'm not the youngest chap out there either, but I will tell you this, that back in the day, fishing spots was so freaking secretive. Today, guys just don't care. They get on the internet, they caught that fish, it's on there 5 minutes later, and it's exactly where you want to be. Yeah, next day it's packed with people there.
It's total disrespect.
They don't
the
care
guys
today.
Who do it the right way, and guys like most of the guys I have fished with in the past, like Mark. I don't know, there's a bunch of guys, Mark Joliffe, and those guys used to travel all over the place with Murdy and those guys. Those guys, we put in our time, we fished our asses off, and we were always on fish, and we were always ahead of the herd. Like we'd be done with a 3-night hit, and then they'd start the information would start leaking out or something. By the time everybody got down there, the hit's over. Like they caught the tail end of what we had, like a 3-night or 4-night bliss of bliss, of great fishing. So like we would fish based on the science, time of year, water temperatures, rips, currents, moon phases, all that, and then we would target our areas. Like I said before, like you pick one spot, you concentrate on that spot. You bass have to come through here, and we do that, and we'd be on fish for like 3 nights hard, like banging the hell out of fish, and then a couple guys would show up and see us banging. Next thing you know, there's 20 guys there next night. We're home watching TV, and those guys didn't catch nothing. I've got that a lot, a lot of that, which is good because we're putting in our time, we're working, and again, like this next book would be all about that, which I call the variables. You line up as many variables and as many absolutes as you can. And there's a bunch. The more you line up, the better your chances of connecting. It's strictly scientific.
Yeah.
And, the more of those you can line up, the better your chances of doing well. The only thing you can't change is size.
Yeah, right.
Right? But you can change size if it depends on where you go to fish.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want big fish, where do you go? You go to Montauk, or you go to Cuttyhunk. Block, yes, but it hasn't been that good in the last couple of years for big fish.
Yeah.
Although there's big fish there, they're off the beach,
A little bit like Montauk.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean they're coming in to see you at night.
Yeah.
I was on that pattern, hot and heavy, for years. And those guys in the boats were catching 50s and 60s during the day.
Yeah.
And we were fishing on that beach at night, and we never pulled those fish. We pulled nice fish, but not those fish. We never got those monster fish that would push in from the ledge at night.
DJ, rumor has it that you changed the industry. In what ways do you feel that you've done that?
Well, I'm not going to say it changed the industry, like that. I would never say that. But I mean, I'm like super efficient, and I like to do things in like order. Like I said, the science is a big part of it, right?
Right.
Where you put all these variables together, and you put yourself in position to hit good fish or big fish, right? So I just did stuff to make my job easier, and two, to be more efficient. So, for example, like I'm not saying I invented the belt bags or nothing like that, but I started asking specifically for belt bags for plugs to go in on my belt, because when I was wetsuiting, climbing out to a rock, you're trying to get up on the rock, you have your shoulder bag swinging full of water. What a mess. Then I started clipping it onto my belt. So when I got up and it's full of water, it would just drain and not be swinging, knocking you off, and then a wave knocks you on your ass. So I worked with, it was first Dave Rose with Mac Surfcasting. He's not doing it anymore. And we did really well. And then it was Jamie at Flatlander. And he built me some really nice stuff that I still use to this day. I mean, it's great because I just don't want the bag thing, so the shoulder bag hanging off my. So I think I started. I seen all these guys at Block and showing them, and on the different trips, I'm like, man, that's really cool. And then it kind of like caught on at the shows and stuff. But I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. Another thing I like to think is we started doing a lot of. We go to these shows in the winter, and we didn't really have anything to sell. I had books. You're not gonna make a lot of money on books, right? So I'd bring the books, sign them, and talk to guys stuff. But we wanted to go stay at hotels up in Providence and go out to eat, and we needed money. Like it's $700-800 for a weekend. So we started loading plugs. We started loading red fins with shot, and we sit there at the table. Me and Murdy would sit there at the table, and we just load these lures. And people come up and go, "What are you doing? Like this is how you load a red fin." So we started selling them, and we were doing so many of them we couldn't even keep up. We were like selling them like as fast as we can load them. The guys are watching and taking pictures, doing videos, stuff like that. And the loaded redfin became very, very big. And then we came to Super Strike, their needles. Yeah. They had an 1 3/4 ounce needle. They had a 2 1/4 ounce needle. And I was like, when I'm fishing these islands and I have like, boom, baby. Exactly. I had I had like water pulling at 3 to 4 knots, right? You throwing out like a 2 1/4 needle, it's not getting down. It's not doing what I want to do, because when I'm fishing the rips on any of those places, any of the islands, any Montauk, any of those, right? I want to get my lure out as far as I can. I want to get it down as deep as I can, as fast as I can. So we started taking Super Strike needles and loading them up to like 2 1/2, 2 3/4, and some 3. So now, and I changed it back up to a single side wash with like a real long hackle on it, and a 6X treble on the front, and I'd cast that thing out. It'd get like forever, drop it down, and I know I was deep because you're reeling and the resistance is incredible, which means you're in really deep water, and those big fish would be like boom. And I just reel it just fast enough to where I hit a rock, just pick up your speed a little bit. You're just a little bit too slow, because I don't want to be in the rocks, obviously, because as soon as it hits the rocks, you lose it, right? And I don't want to be too high in the column because the bass are down low. They're in the rocks, right? Because the bass are down there looking for lobsters, they're looking for all kinds of fish, sure. Blackfish, which are all in the rocks. They're down deep, they're not up top, they're down low. So if my needlefish is up at 7 or 8 feet of water, and the bass on the bottom, probably not a lot of interest. But if I got the thing in their face, yeah, boom, right? So I started loading those Super Strike needles to do what I needed to do, not what they made, and not try to make that work, what I needed it to do for me. So that was good. And then next thing I know, Super Strike came out with, and I'm great friends with Steve and Donnie and all that. So Steve comes out with a 3-ounce needle, factory loaded 3-ounce. So I called him, I was like, what are you gonna do with that? It's like, it's too heavy. It's gonna sink. I was like, that's a great, because I had some loaded up to 3 1/2, 4 ounces. And I would take cotton cordell pencils, load them up to like 3 or 4 ounces, and just fish them like a lure. Cast them out a mile, drop them down, and it worked great, especially like fishing the rips, like Sandy Point and some of these other great rips that we fish. You're throwing like a 4-ounce cotton cordell pencil. You're not penciling it, you're letting it drop down, and you're just fishing it, and it's just kicking in the current, and the bass just come up and suck it down. So we did that. So once I said, Steve, I think 3's too heavy. Should be like 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Then he called that the wind cheater, or his storm lure, which is, it's great. Like a 3-ounce needle, like that, it's projecting into the wind or into a northeaster or something. It's a great lure.
Wow.
But for a night tide that's pulling 3 knots, 3 or 4 knots, it's not. It's too heavy. It gets down too fast, and you get home.
Yep, no doubt.
So that was something that I just worked on, and it became commonplace. I guess I don't know what the right word is for it, but
hey, I got somebody out here. 1 second. He says, Clayton Patties. This is Mr. P. Tell DJ Clay from Plum Island misses you.
Plum Island.
Plum Island, yeah.
Clay from Plum Island.
Clay from Plum Island misses you.
Oh man, you serious?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Bloodline fishing adventures.
I bet you're very lonely right now, buddy. with your number one's gone. His buddy James just slid down to South Carolina. Retired and went to South Carolina, so his fishing partner is gone. Man, that sucks. Sorry, buddy.
That's all right. Read that up, Romina.
Bloodline Fishing Adventures is saying, I have 3 of DJ's books. Some great knowledgeable stuff. DJ Muller is the man. Learned a lot from him.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, Bloodline Fishing Adventures fishes
Very
up
cool.
at the canal. Great guy,
Who's
great
this?
fisherman. This is Bloodline Fishing Adventures. Yeah, he's on Instagram. Arujo. I'm sorry.
Arujo. We're probably not pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I got some other stuff here. It says,
Wait, I got one more thing.
go ahead. Yeah.
I also like to think, and again, Alberto introduced this, but remember, like when Steve McKenna was banging all those fish on the loaded sluggo, like he was fishing those sluggos up on Narragansett and stuff, and he's catching these monster fish. So everybody, it got hot. I mean, and we also sold those at shows. We started rigging our sluggos and some of the people we'd sell out every show. So I love that lure, and I said that's one of the best lures ever. Was the rig sluggo, the best ever, right? But the problem was, I'm saying it's best ever. Like a straight bass will never swim past that lure. If he sees it, he will eat it, right? It's one of those, right? So I'm fishing in big surf. I'm fishing in wind. I'm fishing in fast current. The rig sluggo couldn't do it. So then I started messing around with weights, like lead heads and rubber. And then I kind of got it connected with, Alberto was sponsoring that Tiki Wave worm, whatever, which became Mega Shad. Bobby Uhrig bought it, and he has Mega Shad now, right? Started fishing them things, and man, God, it changed the way I fished. I stopped using eels completely, and just fished them things. And I caught big ass fish with that. I was like, I love this, and we sold a ton of those too, at the shows. That's how I know like the popularity of them, because we used to, me and Murdy would rig up like hundreds before the show, and then we sell them like different ounce heads. And people just buy the hell out of them because we like, look at this fish I caught, and it's like, whoa, man, I want like 5 of each, and we did stuff like that. I mean, and I think it kind of changed some things. I know I'm not saying any way that I invented rubbers and lead heads, but I think it helped the industry. I think it helped guys catch fish. I think that was good.
I'm pretty sure that it did, buddy, without a doubt. You put in all that time and effort into lures. Eventually, you'll find your lure that with the right, with working the plug the right way, will catch you that fish, which eventually know that you have hit the nail on the head, and you could start selling some of those lures now.
Oh God, yeah. I used to sell them all the time, not just at shows. I'd sell them all year long. Guys would call me and order 20 or 30 of certain color, certain weight, certain whatever. And if I didn't have them, I'd get the rubbers and, really vinyl, but, and do them up and send them out. It worked really good. We made some extra money doing it and able to fish more gas, more hotels, and worked out really, really cool.
I got something for you here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's good.
Okay. I was going to say to you, guys, listen up. In the surf, if you had to name the most important variable to successful fishing, what would it be?
I want you to ask all your followers to put that in first and see what they say.
Yeah, guys, check it out. I want you to answer up here. In the surf, if you had to name the most important variable to successful fishing, what would it be? What would you guys say? Go ahead.
I want to see what this says. I'm very interested in this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit general, but there are...
Edwin Rivera says bait. Brian Hamlet Woodcraft says wind. Wormway says chum. Wind or tide from John P. Willie J. Tides and moons. Confidence.
From
Structure. Bait. Wind and moon. Wind. Current. 7 pesos. Oh my goodness, I read that wrong.
What the hell?
7 pesos.
Don't fish mung. Oh man, so it's pretty much the answers that are coming up are pretty much everything we look for when we go fishing. So tell me, DJ, what would it be for you as far as variable? What would it be for successful fishing? What would it be for you?
Yeah. It's a general question. It's a general question because we fish 9 months a year. But if I had one that I think is the major player, it'd be wind. I think wind is the major player.
Nice.
Because all you guys that said wind and tide, let me ask you something. Have you ever caught fish on a tide, low tide, high tide, in between either one, and just caught fish based on the fact that the wind was pushing in and kicking you in the teeth and you had fish at your feet? Tide didn't matter, but the wind does. I think the wind is, when there's no wind, my meter is very doink, doink. When there was wind, it's like doink, 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 doink. Yep. So wind gets me fired up, especially if it's a favorable wind. You know, like a northeaster at Montauk. You know what that does? Everybody's out there, right? Everybody's in North Florida, right?
Yep.
And it just makes a world difference what the wind does. I think that's a major thing. We have other variables, obviously, too. Like we do have moon phases, we have migration periods, we have bait presence, all that stuff. But I've seen days where there's nothing, no bait, no fish, and you get a favorable wind turn on you, and it comes into your teeth, wind in your face, and there's fish all over the place. So I understand, too, whoever said bait presence, I mean, that's definitely a factor. When you're hunting in calmer waters and quieter nights, you definitely want to find the bait. But I think the big variable that'll throw everything into the works is wind. I don't know if anybody disagrees with that.
I don't think you're going to find too many people disagreeing with you, DJ. Trust me on that. Guys, I just want to mention here, today's giveaway is going to be a super strike. This is the needlefish. You won't find this anymore. This is the clear needlefish. This is old stuff, never been used, still in the package. Nice little lure to put in your collection. But they do not make this anymore, man. This is really nice. I like this clear stuff. Different. So that'll be today. Yep.
Amber.
Amber. That's
that color is a great color up in the vineyard.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Hanky, they call it.
There you go.
But it's with the daughters, though, but that's just a great color.
So
it's a squid color. You ever see squid when they're scared shitless?
Yep. I wanted to say that whoever wins this one, get up there and get that hanky on and get your fish, baby. That's it.
Exactly. Mr. Hanky, baby.
That's Mr. Hanky, guys. Yeah. So, anybody got any questions or you like to call in, please put up the number, honey. You guys can call in. You can ask questions.
Mr. P, can I do a call out?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Yeah.
I'm going to do a shout out to my main man, the hippie, Abe. Paycheck up in the vineyard. He's a great friend. We spend a lot of time together. Great fisherman. Great fly tyer. Great artist. But you know what he's even better at? Being a human being. He's a great human being. Yeah. He cares for people. Good guy. Nice. Really good guy. So I think he's watching. But I want to say hi to him. And, I said hi to Murdy already. And Mark Richards is a great dude, too. He travels a lot. He fishes hard. He's a Jersey boy. And he's just a super guy. I'm going to say hi to him as well. And if any of my buddies up at the Martha's Vineyard Surfcasters are watching, I'm going to say hi to those guys, McKee or any of those guys, Don or, Ralph. I doubt it. That's like desolate up there, but.
Could be.
Excellent.
But I want to say hi to those. I want to say hi to those guys.
That's nice. Thank you for that, guys. Hope you appreciate that. I got something here for you. Now, we've been talking about this. It's over now, the regulations and all that, but I just wanted to hear from your perspective. And also, guys, we do take donations here. It's the way we keep our channel going. Anything is good, even $1. We're very happy. Please buy a super chat. Make our day. You can also become a member to the channel. You get to see my videos first. That's $3 a month. I remember I wrote $3 to one guy, and he's like, "Mr. P, $300 is a little bit of money every month." I was like, no. I'm not at that stage yet. I'm at $3 right now. So it's $3 a month. Become a member. All of this helps us. And at the end of the year, when I throw my Montauk Striper Challenge, all that money that I've accumulated during the year gets put into the competition. That's why I like to have the best competitions. It's all about the Surfcaster. Fantastic competition coming up again this year in October. It says here, so like I was talking about the regulations, says there's been a lot of talk about regulations in the recent weeks. There's been a lot of chatter about a moratorium. What is your opinion on what exactly is going on? Now, we know what they said, and it's going to all stay the same, but I want to know your opinion on this, DJ.
Oh, Mr. P.
Yeah.
It's a hot stove for sure.
Yeah.
You have to walk tenderly into this water, right? Because if guys are calling for a moratorium, right?
Yeah.
If they get the moratorium, they're gonna shut it down.
You're gonna shut it down, bro.
Right? Now, if they shut it down, this is what's weird. You can't even target those fish.
Yeah, you can't target.
Right?
Yep.
Legally, you can't target them. So then guys are like, well, just make it catch and release, right? Well, okay, that maybe. I mean, what does that do to the mortality rate and all that other stuff? I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea. The moratorium, I think, is a little bit of a problem because you're going to take the fishery away. But on the other side, you can fish for bluefish, right? Anytime with pencil poppers and darters and stuff like that. Yeah. Right. So that's your window, and I don't think they'll enforce that. But the truth of the matter is, the stocks are in very bad shape, like critically bad shape, and that's strictly my opinion as a fisherman. Because even in Jersey, like for 20 years, come December and into January, we caught tons of small fish, tons. Yeah. We'd scale down our rod sizes and just have a good time, like not freshwater size, but like 7-8 footers, and catch a ton of small fish. Like it wouldn't be hard to catch 20 a day, like 20 in the morning from like sunrise to like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you go to work, right? Have 20 fish.
Right.
My buddies, like, one of my buddies, Larry, he's a very, very, very good fisherman. And he's been out a couple times. In the last couple of weeks, he was out Christmas morning. He fished for 3 hours hard, not one hit, not even a hit. See, that to me is a major, major red flag. He's been out like 3 or 4 times. Very good fisherman, knows what to do, knows to change it up, try different options and all that stuff. And he's not catching these small fish. And you look at the charts and see where the numbers are. They're way down. It's bad.
Bill Wetzel, he's always telling me, it's devastating. The fish, they're just not there. And they gave us this year. They said, yeah, same regulations. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's some miracle and they're all out there in the deep waters and they're just going to show up again one day. But I don't think I have the right answer. But it sucks in a way. It sucks that we're losing these fish. The Chesapeake Bay down there, it just hasn't been what it's been. I mean, go ahead.
That's all that comes into play. You have a mess in the Chesapeake Bay. Like omega protein wipes out all those bunker.
Yeah.
Right? When you have people who are malnutritioned, they die. They don't have strength. When you have fish are malnutritioned, they do not make it. They then, instead of being a predator, become a prey, right? For bigger fish. Because they're smaller, weaker. They're not growing. There's no bunker. There's no food. There's fertilizer problems. There's so much fertilizer in Chesapeake Bay that all the algae blooms, no sun gets to the bottom. All the vegetation on the bottom dies.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess, right? I just want to say this. Look, Jersey regulators need to take a look at how North Carolina has handled the red drum. They've always been tight on them, and look at that. Greg O'Connell or O'Donnell, I think O'Connell, right, was down there with his boys for a week. They caught over 500 drum. He said they're all over the place. That it's in great shape. You know what? When an industry like that is in great shape, people go down there, they fish, they get hotels, they go to the bars, they go to the restaurants. It's 100%. Great for the economy. And look at what those guys have done. They've always been hard on the red drum. We need our guys to be hard on the stripers, like protect this fish. Yeah. I went down to, was it Maryland or, and I was fishing in the spring, in some of those rivers, which you're not supposed to do. They were like, if they catch you down there, you have a rod in your truck, they will not like that. They protect those fish. That's what I got. It's like, there's the roads that run across the river. If they pull you over and you have like a fishing rod in your truck, you're banged, man. Like that's somebody who's protecting their fish. Because when those fish are spawning or getting ready to spawn, they need everything to be perfect, right? Which leads me to the Raritan Bay in the spring, which a lot of you guys are fishing there, right? You're pressuring big, heavy, egg-laden female fish that are getting ready to go spawn up in the river. I'd like to ask you, please, not to, because those fish need to lay those eggs. That's the most important thing to our fishery. Yeah. And who knows? Is that a problem? I don't know, because so many guys are banging fish in March, and all those fish are all pre-spawn females, and you're putting pressure on them things, and you pick them up, and you hold them up, and all the eggs come out on you. It's like all this silt and shit comes out, or the eggs. I ask you, please give those fish a break. Like start fishing in maybe April or May after the post spawn, right? The other problem with the striped bass industry, with the stocks, is seals. The seal population is killing these fish. An adult gray seal eats about 60 pounds of fish a day. Yeah. And they said on Monomoy Island, man, look it up. Go to YouTube, do Monomoy Island seals. There's 70,000 seals on that island.
Holy smokes!
When you look, the planes flying over. Go on YouTube and look. Planes flying over. You're like, wow, what's all those rocks? Those aren't rocks, man. Those are all seals. They said I forgot what the population was, 40,000, 70,000, whatever. But do simple math. If they got to eat 60 pounds of fish a day.
Yeah, stop. My God.
Yeah.
And I go to Nantucket. I can't even fish for albies because as soon as you catch one, two seals like torpedoes come from each direction and they chase your albacore around until they get it, and then they come up right in front of you and they eat it and rip the skin off it right in front of you, and it's like, you bastards. And then your pencil popper's gone or whatever the hell you're throwing. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem. Somebody's got to address that. You have to address the seals. The seals are eating everything.
That's one thing I really didn't hear about. Obviously, everybody complains about them, but I didn't hear anything about the seals until you made me think about it right now, just a bit.
Well, they're coming. If they're not in Montauk already, which I'm pretty sure they are. Because in Jersey, right now in Jersey, on the inside of Sandy Hook, there's probably 5,000 of them there. Wow. Because in the winter, they come, they hang out down there, and they eat all the fish that are down there. They're an eating machine. Something's got to happen. So I don't hear nobody talking about that with the regulations and the people who are supposed to protect our fish. Where's the talk on that?
Will Walker says the MMPA got them protected.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't kill a seal. I mean, you go to jail. It's like a felony. I said hire Eskimos. Eskimos have natural rights to do it. Have Eskimos come down and shoot them.
Yeah.
You got to do something. If not, they're going to kill themselves. Like what happened is the populations get so big and there'll be malnutrition because there's not enough food. They ate all our striped bass, right, and bluefish. The disease will get into it and they'll wipe out the whole colony. Yeah. And then you have stinky fish for miles and miles and years of dead seals floating around.
Brian Hamlet, he says Long Island bays are run over with those fat bastards. Yeah.
They are fat bastards, and I hate them. Yeah. I don't want to curse on here, but I hate them things. They're the worst. They're the worst. Yeah, anywhere you go, hates them. As soon as they show up, they're like down here, like when the dolphins show up.
Same thing.
All your fish are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
And if they're not gone, they get eaten. So it's the same thing. So
tell me, DJ.
Yeah, they're protected.
Got another question for you.
Sure.
Listen, hopefully everything's going to work out for us. I don't know. I'm definitely far from the one who knows anything about these regulations and what's going to happen in the future. I just pray that everything will be fine and we can keep fishing and doing what we're doing. I want to ask you, DJ, one of the most interesting things that you've seen in the surf, and I know you've been pretty much all over, especially up in the Northeast.
Man, one of the things recently that really changed the way I think about striped bass was can't think of the guy's name. He's fishing the canal, 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, full tide. You know, it's blowing through there, 6 knots or whatever. He's throwing a black SP minnow. He catches a 28, 30-inch bass or whatever, right? No big deal. Until he pulls it up and has no eyes. Both eyes are scarred over. What does that tell you about striped bass? What does it tell you about how they feed? I mean, if you read The Complete Striped Bass by Nick Harris, read the science part of that book. He says that most bass don't even see the target till like within 3 feet of the target, right? So you're talking about fish that hunt using feeling, and their feeling is as good as our. And this is how I compare it. The way they feel is as good as we see. They feel with as much detail as we see, right? And also, they hear, because underwater it's very loud. Like, if you ever get a chance to talk to Mike Lapto, ask him about like how much sound was underwater. So between the sound and between the vertical line or lateral line, I believe that, and based on what Mike Clark, right, said, based on what he said, I deduced that bass can feel with as much detail as we can see with.
Wow.
Because that fish pulling in probably 6 knots, right, when the canal's ripping, in the pitch dark on a black lure. How did that fish find that in his mouth?
I know, I don't get that either.
How?
I think
Explain
about that sometimes. I'm like, wow. I always like to say it's the vibration. They feel that. I mean, it's a little of everything, but I trust what you're telling me, DJ. So.
Well, yeah, you know what anthropomorphism is?
No.
That's where you take a human trait and put it to an animal.
Oh.
Like you say, well, I can't smell that good, so a fish probably can't smell that good, or I can't see that good.
Yeah.
A fish can't see. You know, like you take a human trait or characteristic and you put it to an animal. If you do that with striped bass or squirrels or whatever the hell, it's. I mean, I feed my squirrels out here, right? I throw a peanut way out in the thing. Within 5 minutes, it finds a peanut. Like, how? It's a peanut, right? Because it smells it. It's all smell for them, right? It's not. But with striped bass, for example, like one time I'm at a Montauk in the parking lot with the camper and all that stuff, right? And I bit into this apple. I was like, oh man, it was so bad. And you sit out the back camper and you see all the deer come out of the woods at night, right? So the deer were like sitting over there. So I took the apple and I threw it over there, like total opposite direction, right? Within 5 minutes, the deer ate that apple.
Yeah.
Like how? Like we don't understand how this works. Like They smell so good. And I think fish feel so good, better than we. And, you know, you can't, well, you know, I don't relate. Yeah, of course you don't relate. You're not a fish and you're not a deer, you know? So I think when he told me that whole story, and of course I asked him the question, right? Mike, did you take a picture of it? No, I forgot. Oh, I made that. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. So next time I see him, I will probably smack him around a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I learned that taught me a lot. Another thing I saw that I found extremely interesting was it was Jersey Shore in the fall. We had all the peanut butter and stuff coming down. Am I boring you, man? Right? No. Had all the peanut butter come down, and you know, in Jersey there's sandbars. I mean, we have the jetties in Monmouth County, but in Ocean County it's all sandbars. It's all soft structure. And I was watching, and there's a bunch of peanut. I mean, like miles of peanuts, right? And I'm watching these bass. Like, how are they doing this, right? The waves were like pretty big waves, like 4 or 5 footers. Again, what I said about wind is important, right? And the waves were coming up, and the bass were pushing the peanuts right into the back of the waves. The peanuts had no place to go. It was incredible. And they would come up, and then they would chase them right up into the top of the wave. And then when the wave collapsed, all the bass were falling out of the face of the wave back into the surf. I was like, wow. Check this out. So they're taking nothing, right? Water, nothingness, and they're creating their own structure, right? They're using the wave as structure. So the wave will be there for 10 seconds, and the wave's gonna be gone. I was like, I think that, like, I was like, that's incredible. It's incredible. And you see the wave come up, you see all the bait in it, you see the bass like just swimming through the waves, like just eating bass. I mean, eating bunker. And then when the wave stood up, all the bass would fall out and swim back out and do it again. It was incredible. I was like, that is really cool, right? I mean, because you hear him like push him up against the beach, push him onto the back of a bar somewhere or whatever. These guys were like, a wave would come up and then they'd use that wave and then the wave would be gone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was extremely, extremely interesting. Let me see what else.
I got some stuff
you know what?
here.
You know, it's, I was thinking about this. Every once in a while it comes up because I lost a couple good friends in the last couple months. But like deaths in the surf, I've known 4 guys who died in the surf, right? And I'm like, how does that happen?
Wow.
I find that interesting, and it makes me be extra, extra careful. So I got family, I got wife, I got kids, and I got stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, you think about, they step off the bar, something happens, they make a mistake, they take a big chance.
Oh, man.
And they go out there to get their head smashed in against a rock, and they find them washed up next morning. I mean, that shit's not good. So I find that sad, and I guess it's not really interesting, but.
Yeah, I have a friend. You guys know him. What's his name? Gelso Pasquarelli. He went out with a buddy a few years back, and his buddy went a little too deep. He was on the jetty, and a wave came over, pushed him over, and that was it.
Oh,
Helicopters were looking. An hour later, he was gone. That was it.
Oh, God.
That's his friend over
terrible.
there. Yeah.
Jetties and wading situations where you take a step too far can kill you.
Yeah, it's tough when.
And a lot of these guys don't dress right. I mean, the waders and the dry top, if the belt's cinched tight, will buy yourself a lot of time. You have waders open and no belt, and wave goes over you.
That's
Once you go down, you ain't getting up.
Yeah,
So I did that one time. I got a wave over top, and I didn't have no belt when I was young and dumb. I fell down on my knees. I could not get my ass up.
Yeah, it's tough.
And waves hit me and rolling me, and I was scared. I finally got smart and did all 4s, put my ass up in the air, and all the water dumped out, and I ran up.
Yeah.
I was half dead by then.
Yeah, Damez says it. He says, I've almost drowned in shin deep in some of them rips. It's true, man. I fell off a rock. I must have been in 3 feet of water, but at the same time, the next wave's coming in, and it sucks in a way. But you know. Yeah,
one of my Jersey buddies, Bill Sistad, he's a great fisherman, and he grew up to Montauk in the fall for a couple of weeks, you know, like everybody else, right? And he said he was on a rock, and you know your buddy's like 100 yards away, and he said he got knocked off the rock, which is funny. You know, everybody laughs, fuck, right?
Right.
And then he said he went under, and the wave washed over him, and then he didn't get back up. And then another wave came in, and he's like, "Where the hell is he?"
Yeah.
And he said all of a sudden he jumped up, and he had a braid wrapped all around his bag. He couldn't get up. He fell into braid that was all, and he finally got his bearing and was able to stand up. But he was you know scared to death. I mean, wouldn't you be? You fall down that bubbleweed or whatever in the kelp, and then you get tangled up in shit and you can't stand up. I mean, that's bad, man.
Yeah. It is
so
bad.
I mean, when you're going out, you gotta check all that stuff. If you're walking out through the grass and the weed and the bubbleweed or whatever the hell you want to call it, you better check to make sure there's no lobster lines, there's no braid in there, because stupid guys take the braid off, you know, they go wing out and just throw it in the water. Like, what are you doing?
No good.
Never.
Yep.
You know what? You take it and you roll it up like this, and it makes like a big booger, and you put it in your somewhere, and you take it and throw it out.
Yeah, exactly. It says here, I have down, we mentioned earlier, you have what's called the bass class. So hundreds of people have attended your bass class from New Jersey to Massachusetts. What the hell's a bass class? Tell me exactly what it is.
I don't know. No, I mean, in my writing and all that stuff, like I came to realize, and with PowerPoints and stuff, like I was like, people are hungry for knowledge, right? So I developed like a curriculum to do an 8-hour class, which I really enjoyed making, because I did a lot of history research and looked up a lot of stuff for the history part. I did a lot of science research for the science part. I mean, there's some really good stuff out there. When you look around, there's some really great studies that are done that nobody ever talks about or writes about or nothing. And I always get the guys like, when do I throw a darter? When do I throw a Danny? When do I throw different lures? When do I throw a bucktail? When do I throw a tin? When do I throw a pencil popper? And for guys coming in, I mean, the guys that fish know when to use it, right? But still, like the guys like, I don't know what to do. So I bring every plug that there is, like, you know, a pikey, all of them. I had them all on the table.
Sure.
We go through every plug and say, this is a pikey. It swims 2 to 3 feet, sometimes deeper in fast water. This is darter, needlefish, how to fish it. Go through the whole thing, and then we did the lures and the situation, and then we did reading the water. And it's all PowerPoint too, which is great.
Yeah.
Look at this. Yeah, this water's coming across here, and like videos and stuff.
Yep.
So this coming out here, and it hits the cut, and then it pulls out, and you know how the bars interact and all that stuff. And then the last part was a technical approach to fishing, like honing in on a spot, and you want to catch a big fish. You know, yeah, everybody wants to catch a fish, but most guys want to catch a big fish, right? So we talk a lot about the tactical approach to finding big fish. And
you have
it's something to do with what we talked about before.
You have a gentleman here,
position.
Russell Mead. Cool class, great info. Also, James J says, I still have my bass class books back from when you did them at the saltwater edge. You need me to come up and do some more?
No, you need to come up.
Yeah, you need to
You
need to come up and do some more. Yeah.
I gotta call Jenks and see what's up.
There you go.
I check him up. I check him up in the spring and do one up at the edge. I just do one there every year because I'd be up there for doing shows, and then I just, you know, we do like the Providence show, you know, Risa, and then I'd jump over and do him like, you know, on Monday or Tuesday. I think we did it on weekends. Maybe it was next weekend. Yeah. But I don't know. We would go up there and do like a show, usually on a Sunday there. It worked out pretty good. It was, you know, 15, 20 guys and striper freaks and stuff like that. They loved it. They ate it up.
Hey, DJ, I have to tell you that I'm very happy I got you on my show with the help of Joe Albanese. Very talented guy, very knowledgeable guy. Obviously, I can't have you on my show just today and get everything out of you. I'd like to have you on again another time. But for a start today, what a start. I appreciate you coming on and talking striped bass fishing. Like I said, I would like to have you on again. But before we finish up, just another question. Who are your biggest influences in surf casting? I wanted to ask you that. A lot of great guys out there.
There's a lot of great guys. This sounds really queer, but I'm kind of glad like nobody taught me anything because I learned it myself. Like I said, I had a fisherman magazine in my back pocket, and you know there was no information yet. There was no internet, so I just went out and I screwed up a lot for a couple of years. It took me a long time to catch bass, and then as I got more serious, I got to say, I went out with Wetzel a couple times, long time ago, and he was very instrumental as I moved north out of Jersey, and which is, you know, I say Jersey's on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest and 10 being the most complicated. Jersey was like a 1, and then Montauk was like an 8 or 9, Block 8 or 9, Cuddy 8 or 9. You know, you out there alone, you can get your ass kicked. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
But Bill was a really good teacher. He's a really good teacher. And he's technically very good with the casting. Oh my God, he's on the money. This guy. This is Montauk's main guy out there. I mean, if you're going to use a guide, especially in Montauk, I'd call Bill Wetzel hands down every single time. No doubt. I mean, he was great. When I wrote the first book, I mentioned him in it, and he he said, "Come fish with me" and stuff. I was like, "Dude, I already did, and you don't owe me nothing." And he's like, "No, really." So we went up and just did a fishing thing. I had a good time. Yeah, good guy. Alberto was with me, and we just, we went out. We had fun. Of course. So he's. Who else? I don't know. I want to say maybe Donnie Musso. Yeah. Because early on, I was fishing the vineyard back in the 1990s and early 2000s, and I met this guy every year, and he was from Long Island guy, him, Charlie Kruger, and anyway, they were all there. You know, they were always together, and he always took time to come out and talk to me, and explain stuff to me, and I didn't know who he was until like 15 years later. When I seen the picture, I was like, "That's Donnie Musso. I know that guy." And then I figured out it was him at the vineyard, but he was from Long Island. I didn't know. I mean, I knew they were Long Island guys, but it was we've had some really, really good conversations about plugs and swimming, like swimmers and colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I called one night, just a casual call, and we talked for 3 hours, and it seemed like it was like 10 minutes. It was great. I mean, he's just super guy. And then there's 1,000 other people. I mean, Alberto.
Yeah, of course.
I taught him a lot of what he knows, and
yep.
No.
I gotta,
guys like that, and you just listen, and you listen to guys who don't have any name, and they fish a lot, and you just listen, and you apply it, and you try to take something from the conversation and apply it to yourself, and make yourself a better fisherman.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's what it's all about. It's getting out there enough and learning from your mistakes. It's becoming a better fisherman, and obviously, get to hang out with some guys like DJ Muller. You pick up some extra knowledge there. I always say that even the best fishermen out there who catch the biggest fish and so on, they're not just going to tell you a spot. These guys are going to, there isn't just a spot for striped bass. I don't want to say that too, because sometimes the stripe is coming for a day, they're gone the next. Sometimes they come in for a few days, they're gone. Sometimes they'll come in for a week, same time every day. It's all different. And the more time you get out there, the more knowledge you guys can all get under your belt. And
you take knowledge. You take the knowledge as somebody tells you. That's knowledge. Reading a book, going to a seminar, listen, that's knowledge. Then you take the knowledge and you convert it to experience. So there's a big difference. Like I know guys who could talk a good game. They have all the right equipment and all. They have everything. They have the Sims tops and waders and boots, and they can't catch a dick in a zipper.
Yeah, that's me.
And I know guys who are out there with. I know guys who's out there with nothing, and not enough line on the reel and stuff, and they're catching bass on every damn cast.
Yeah,
like incredible. And I used to see Donnie out at his hangout was like driftwood, right?
Okay.
And I would just stand there and talk to him, and I would go through his plug bag. Not one of the plugs in his bag he was bought in a tackle shop. Everything he had, he made. Right. Or he had an idea on something. Wow. Like he was really into the rainfish and what do they call them? White bait up there. He had like these really small hooks with like one red feather or hair on it, and just crazy stuff. Yeah. Nothing I've ever seen in a tackle shop. And I was like, that's incredible. That's somebody who's thinking and fishing out of what he's creating. Like he sees a need and then he creates the answer for that need. Yeah. It's nothing you can buy it. Like, well, Paulie's not there no more, but
Right. I get it. I want to ask you something. Mario Gandini, one of the subscribers, he says, can you ask DJ, with the amount of time spent on the water, has he caught some species of fish he never expected to catch?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, Like I caught a lot of freshwater fish, fishing for saltwater fish.
Yeah, right.
I caught smallmouth bass, shad, and the weirdest one was a catfish. But that was like these were all the rivers like Pennsylvania and down in Maryland and down there. I never caught like a sturgeon. I never caught a tarpon. Not down there anyway. I mean, not up there. But just mostly freshwater fish that are out of their, well, not really, I'm in their element, I guess. We used to fish the Delaware River a lot in the spring. Yeah. For bass that are migrating up the river to spawn. And we catch all kinds of crazy stuff in there. It's fun.
Nice.
Musky.
Beautiful. DJ, usually our show runs about an hour, which we're at right now. What I want to ask is, do you want to have anything that you want to say out there? And again, this isn't going to be your final time on the live stream. I'd love to have you on again, maybe on with another guest that you used to fish with. We'll see what happens. But anything you'd like to say or say hello to anybody, anything.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Big Frank at Gabriel. He's been very supportive. I want to say hi to John Bushell at Betty Nix. And all my people up in New England. There's too many to list. I love all you guys. I miss you guys.
There you go.
And all my buddies at JSS Surfcasters, Jersey Shore Surfcasters, who do Surf Day, and they're a bunch of great guys. And Dominic, Tansy, and
he's out there right now. Guys. Dominic, Tim, Tim, what's the last name?
Murphy.
Sorry. Tim Murphy. They're running the show down there. I can't wait to go down there. This year I'm going to have another booth over there. Terrific show they run down there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And a ton of people. I've never seen so many people at a show. And I've been to quite a few shows, and that's a fact.
It's a great show. It's a one of a kind. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
So
no doubt about
we worked hard to bring that to where it is.
Yep.
So it's in February. I'm not sure what day this year, but it's usually the third Saturday in February.
Yeah. Yep. I can't wait to go. Honestly, I really can't.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's everybody's there. Wetzel's there. All those guys are there.
Yep. No doubt.
Soldati, all those guys. I mean, tons of great guys.
No doubt about it.
Musos are there, and
yep.
Don is there after hours there, and all this. Mom McKee and Striper Maniac.
Yeah.
All those. I mean, they're great. It's a great place.
Hey, if you
so
want to hang,
you gotta go.
Hang out a minute, DJ. Just hang out. We're gonna give away that lure right now, honey. You want to grab the comments?
Okay.
For me, thank you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got 10 of these, but anyway, of just this lure. All right, go ahead, honey. You could spin it up.
Okay, hold on a second.
We got the 10-second countdown. You got to be on to win. Let's go. And the winner is?
And the winner is?
Spin it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Round she goes.
There you go.
Hold on. And here we go. And
what's that?
It says Leo 0781.
Put it up so you can see it. There you go.
Leo 0781.
Leo, if you're out there, you're going to win this Super N fish, approximately 1 3/4 ounce. Super Strike Custom Lures. This is a classic, man. They do not make these anymore. These are the clear amber color.
Leo,
this color you can use up at, what did you say earlier, DJ?
Anywhere. Oh, the vineyard. That's a good vineyard color.
There you go.
Mr. Henke.
Vineyards. Yeah. So no, Leo, just give it to Dave. Is the answer out there? Leo, you're out there. 10, 9,
come on.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you for that, Mr. Striper Hunt. All right, let's ring it off again, honey.
Okay.
Ring it off again. And the winner is?
Set this up again.
And the winner is? You got to spin it, honey.
Oh.
Okay, and that is Rick. What does that say?
Rick Kulsh.
Rick Kulsh.
Rick Ulsh.
Rick Ulsh. If you're out there, Rick, say hello. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I guess they're not out. Oh, there he is. Rick Ulsh. Let's go.
There he is.
We got you, Rick. You're the winner this week. Congratulations. Super Strike. There you go.
Boom.
Rick, do me a favor. Just send me your address on Instagram and leave it on there. I'll get it. I'll contact you back. To the guys who haven't gotten their things delivered, I know I'm going to be bringing up the Van Stall products. I know Angela.
You're gonna see people up at the Narragansett show. So
I want to ask: is what's his name? Bass fishing.
Ocean.
Yes, Ocean State Bass Fishing.
Chappie.
Chappie, if you're out there, are you going to be at the show next week? Because I won't deliver it. I'll bring it up there.
I'm pretty sure.
He usually is, but I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up there. Mr. P has no concept of time. Love it. Yeah, I know. Mike, how you doing? Mike Kish is the maker of that piece that Ocean State Bass Fishing won.
No, that's not Mike Kish. That's somebody else.
Oh, that's somebody else.
Wait, that's a different Mike.
Giving away stuff that they didn't even donate here. It's all right. We're all good.
Tom AZ asking, what shows you going to be at, Mr. P?
I'll be at the Surf, the Jersey Surf. I'll be at the Narragansett next week. I'll be at the other shows, just walking around. I think I'm going to be at the Connecticut show, where I'm going to have a booth there. I think that's it for this year. Yeah, without a doubt.
That's what I should do. We do one in every state.
Yeah, I try that.
Keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
Yep. It says, Mr. P, when are you bringing on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, right.
That's going to happen in about 180 years, and I will be the first person to ever live that long, and that's when he's going to come on my show, guaranteed. But that's a good one. I do enjoy that. Guys, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
DJ,
much.
all I can say is thank you very much. I appreciate you very much. All we talked about is so little.
Awesome.
We'll get you back on. Go ahead.
If anybody wants to get a hold of me,
Yeah.
I'm DEE Muller on Facebook.
We'll be leaving.
Not D period J. That one I do not have access to. It's DEE Muller on Facebook.
Yep, and we put that up on the screen.
Message me or call me or make fun of me or something. That's fine. Do it.
We're also going to leave on the bottom. We'll leave
it in our
link.
description of the video, and it's also up on the screen.
It's also
Facebook
up on the screen. Yeah, no doubt. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Love you very much. You guys are all great. You made this all happen. Nice little community we got here. I'm already working on this year's challenge, the Montauk Striper Challenge, coming up in October. Should be another great time. Thank you, everyone. And
thanks, everybody. Thanks,
see
DJ,
you next week. DJ,
see
you next week.
time.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. Peace out,
you, man.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.